Listener discretion is advised.
Merriam-Webster defines superstition as 1A, a belief or practice resulting from ignorance, fear of the unknown, trust in magic or chance, or a false conception of causation.
Pretty judgy.
Yeah.
B,
Correlation, not causation, I guess.
an irrational, abject attitude of mind toward the supernatural, nature, or God resulting from superstition. Or 2, a notion maintained despite evidence to the contrary.
Okay, I don't like any of those definitions.
I don't want to talk about the Space Needle today. Or QAnon.
Those are just conspiracy theories.
That's fair. They don't count.
Mm-mm. So this following is from my new boyfriend, Encyclopedia Britannica. I call him Brit.
Oh, I love that for you.
I really do too.
I signed up for a subscription today, and I was really excited about it.
Love it.
Brit is my newspapers.com.
I love
Okay.
newspapers.com.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't live without it.
Exactly. It's my one and only. Superstition is a belief, half-belief, or practice for which there appears to be no rational substance. Those who use the term imply that they have certain knowledge or superior evidence for their own scientific, philosophical, or religious convictions. Superstitions can be roughly classified as religious, cultural, or personal.
Mm-hmm.
Every religious system tends to accumulate superstitions as peripheral beliefs. So, for example, a Christian may believe that in times of trouble, he or she will be guided by the Bible if he or she opens it at random and reads the text that first strikes the eye.
Oh, wow.
Kind of like a horoscope.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Often, one person's religion is another one's superstition. For example, Roman Catholic veneration of relics, images, and the saints is dismissed as superstitious by many Protestants.
Okay.
All religious beliefs and practices may seem superstitious to the person without religion. Many persons in nearly all times throughout history have held seriously or half seriously irrational beliefs concerning methods of warding off ill or bringing good, foretelling the future, and healing or preventing sickness or accident.
Mm-hmm.
A few specific folk traditions, such as the belief in the evil eye or in the efficacy of amulets, have been found in most periods of history and in most parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Others may be limited to one country, region, or village, to one family, or to one social or vocational group. So the green M&Ms, for example, is obviously just isolated to
group.
our to our social group.
Yeah. I used to have a St. Christopher medallion, even though I'm not religious at all, but he's like the patron saint of travelers. And my aunt gave it to me before I left on my Watson year.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's your little amulet.
super believe in tarot.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are into your crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This is all that.
That spam mail I got about the Abraham,
Abraham letters.
Oh, yeah.
with my wallet amulet that will bring me wealth beyond my wildest dreams.
Yep.
Which reminds me, speaking of that,
Did
quick
you get wealth
anecdote-
beyond your wildest dreams in the
Well-
last 2 days?
No. So,
She got her eyes dilated, though.
for fear of being arrested, basically,
hives.
since we moved in here, we've been getting weird unmarked mail to a previous owner of this house, not the person right before us, because we have their cell number, so I would have just called them and been like, hey, we have your mail, but someone from way back, apparently. And it's literally a religious phishing scheme to just trick old people into sending them a money order for $20 or whatever. But it promises you these letters with Christian secrets about how to amass wealth. And
Because that's so Christian.
It is,
That's
right?
what God wants for you. It's
It
for
is.
you to hoard wealth.
Exactly. So obviously I reported them as a scam to the Better Business Bureau, which is great. But I also told some friends about it. And these friends co-host a podcast called The Nat 30s, which if you're into D&D, check them out. But one of the hosts of this show, their parents are they're basically the Pawn Stars people, where they have a vintage shop, and then they'll buy without sight unseen. They'll buy old storage units and just sell off whatever's in them. and they got this storage unit and they found these like grandma's cookie tins, like stacks of these cookie tins, and they opened them up and they are like perfectly manicured, like X-Acto knifed porn. Just a bunch of naked dudes with just huge hanging dongers. And they're in these like perfect, I have them in the other room. I'm not going to go grab them right now. But
You
like,
have them?
yes, he mailed them to me so that I could now spam back this Abraham Letters company in California. And he sent me a Tupperware container. I have hundreds.
That would also be really great bathroom wallpaper, just saying.
I might save
you
some.
should collage.
I might save some for collaging. But
My birthday's on July 2nd.
okay, I'll pick a favorite. But I will be sending mail back to this company en masse over the next, let's say, year. That's just
love
full
it.
of porn.
They
just
are
so much dong.
literal 3-dimensional,
Yep.
well, 2
Two-dimensional.
unsolicited dick pics.
Yes. But you know what? I feel like you kind of solicited them by like trying to scam this whatever sweet old lady lived here long before me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're getting their comeuppance.
Well,
They
maybe
deserve
that
it.
sweet old lady moved out because she got wealth beyond her wildest dreams and
Maybe.
moved on up to greener pastures.
I'm going to
I like this theory.
Well, there's one complaint on the Better Business Bureau about them, and it's one person that was like, I sent in my $20 and never got my amulet. So I don't think it's legit.
Oh, honey.
It's bad. Anyway, that's
I
my
laugh, but
that's
I
my
have
anecdote.
bought essentially just more new agey amulets off the internet. So
I'm surrounded by
same.
amulets right now.
surround.
I am.
You are.
Anyway, okay. So this is from Psychology Today, my other lover. More than half of Americans admit to knocking on wood.
Oh, yeah.
We will circle back to this.
I do that.
When they feel that they've tempted fate. In an experimental study, some researcher, found that high stress increased such behavior. If you're curious, the sources are listed.
Some
It's fine.
studier.
Keenan in 2002, some studier, found that high stress increased such behavior, especially for people who were high in the need for control.
You should see me on an airplane.
Yes.
I'm just tapping.
Yes. Tapping everything.
I still do the thing where you hold your breath going through a tunnel when you drive. I do that.
My cousin taught this. I'm sure it was a joke, but at the time, it was a joke, but at the time I took it very seriously. She told me that you weren't supposed to breathe when you were going past a graveyard, so you didn't make them jealous.
Yeah, no, that's real. And
That's real.
That's real. Meaning she didn't make
that's
that
real.
up. That existed before her. But on the East Coast, you were supposed to hold your breath if you drove past a graveyard until you passed a white house with black shutters.
You
And
die.
it was like really common to have a white house with black shutters like next to a graveyard.
Yeah. Okay.
That's really odd.
My mom told me recently about a flight that she was on when she was like 18 or something, and it was somewhere in Central America.
Was she flying the plane?
No, she wasn't flying.
She could have been. She is trained.
But she was there with her friend, and it was somewhere in Central America. So, like, culturally, most people are Catholic, like, else that was on the plane. And the second the plane started taking off, everyone on the plane did cross themselves in unison.
Yeah.
Like, everyone on the plane just did this.
Perfect unison.
Yeah,
oh,
in
that's
like
amazing.
perfect unison. And my mom and her friend just looked at each other like,
What do we do?
did we?
I love that.
Isn't that amazing?
That's good.
So we'll get to it, but a lot of superstitions are based in the cross, the Christian cross,
That makes sense.
like more than are even evident. Again, we'll get to it. So some other studiers found that tempting fate beliefs were positively correlated with magical thinking, an external locus of control. So beliefs that luck, fate, and external forces determine success and failure, and a tendency toward intuitive rather than rational thinking.
But
It's a good way to
sometimes
absolve
you have
yourself
good
of it.
intuition. Like some
Yeah.
people have really good intuition,
Yeah.
and you should trust it.
Well, and
Yeah.
believing that like everything is influenced by external factors and that like nothing is in your control is an easy way to just absolve yourself of accountability for all things.
That's true.
Not my fault. I
Well-
slipped on a crack.
It's
I broke a mirror.
mean, it also works the opposite way that this magical thinking knocking on wood, it kind of takes your control back.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
totally true.
In I don't know if it's Judaism as a whole or if it's more of like a Yiddish culture thing, but instead of knocking on wood, you when you feel like you've tempted fate, you say puh puh puh.
Or is that like a spitting thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like spitting 3 times, but instead of actually spitting, you just say puh puh puh. Mm-hmm. And I've kind of adopted that. It's fun.
It's fun.
Well, I'm pleased that you have found this fun new superstition.
You sound like Porky Pig. Okay, psychological research finds that superstitious behavior is most likely when people feel uncertain, stressed, and lacking in control. As superstition researcher Keenan, the studier, once said, stress undermines our sense of control, and superstitious behavior is a way to reestablish that control.
Oh, when Flan and I broke up, I did like 18 tarot readings for myself a day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I've done
You
a
need
lot.
to find a reason for what's happening.
I consulted the cards a lot.
yeah.
Didn't love my answers.
So you just did it again.
So I would just do
Yeah.
it again. Keep shuffling till you get what
Leave
you
that
want.
card out.
6,000 readings later, you're like, okay, listen.
Got it.
I'm down to 3 cards.
Only the ones I want.
They all magically become like the hangman. Like, fuck. The universe is like, no, really.
Listen
You're
to
the
us.
crazy one.
That's not what the card said.
You in danger, girl.
Okay. Research finds that luck-enhancing superstitions sometimes benefit performance by reducing anxiety and increasing perceptions of control. In other
Sports.
words,
Yeah.
superstitions... What?
Sports. Like every
yeah.
sports team does this shit.
Yeah.
It said
yeah.
4 out of 5 professional athletes say that they have at least one pre-game ritual.
Yeah.
In other words, superstitions can create self-fulfilling prophecies. For instance, some other researchers found that activating good luck superstitions via common sayings, actions, or good luck charms increased confidence and thereby improved performance.
Love it.
So here are some examples of common superstitions and just a little bit of insight about them. And this is from Live Science, not a lover of mine.
Yeah.
An X.
A side piece. An
A
X.
side piece. I'm just trying her out to see how she feels.
Exactly. So beginner's luck is one. Beginners might come out ahead in some cases because the novice is less stressed out about winning. Too much anxiety, after all, can hamper performance. Or it could be just a statistical fluke, especially in chance-based gambling games. Or, like many superstitions, a belief in beginner's luck might arise because of confirmation bias, which is a psychological phenomenon in which people are more likely to remember events that fit their worldview. If you believe you're going to win because you're a beginner, you're more likely to remember all the times you were right and forget about the times you ended up in last place.
I did win a lot of money at pull tabs the first time I did pull tabs at that bar.
That was the first time you did pull tabs?
I think so. It was
Well,
at the
maybe
bar that my
confirmation
mom
bias
used to
is
sell
happening.
pull tabs. And
Yeah,
I
you won like $270. didn't
more
you?
even. I think I won like $400. I won a shit ton of money.
It was a lot. It
It was
a
a lot.
shocking, Yeah.
And I went there. I was with Scott. Went to
And
the pull
me.
tab and you, but you weren't. I think you hadn't quite arrived yet. You arrived like 5 minutes later.
No, I went and bought it with you.
Oh,
Because we went back up to that cranky old man like 2 seconds later and we were like, we won!
And he was like,
okay.
great. But I went. I bought my tickets. I pre-tipped,
Yes, you did.
and I
Very
told
generously.
yes, and I told him my mom used to sell pull tabs here, and he could have given a shit. He didn't.
And
care
he went,
at all.
please don't talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. And then I won.
She won.
Anyway.
That was exciting. She bought a round of drinks. Yeah. But only one.
A few.
She's not that generous.
I basically spent all of the money that I won at the bar that night, tipping the waitress and tipping the pull tab guy and buying drinks. But it
That
was
me
so
in
fun.
Vegas.
That was fun. Didn't we buy roses from some passerby too?
Yeah, we were just.
It was
Spreading the love.
It was a big night for
It was
everyone.
fun.
Okay, another superstition. Find a penny, pick it up. All day long, you'll have good luck.
If you give it to a friend, your good luck will never end.
I
Well,
do
this
both
little
those.
ditty may arise just because finding money is lucky in and of itself, but it also might be a spin-off of another old rhyme. See a pin, pick it up, and all day long you'll have good luck. See a pin, let it lay, and your luck will pass away.
A pin?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
I mean, also, if it's like a pin, like a sewing pin,
Right.
someone's bound to step on it, probably
Yeah.
you.
That
Yeah.
is bad luck.
Yeah.
So similar kind of rationale for not walking underneath a ladder, because the superstition is pretty practical. Who wants to be responsible for stumbling and knocking a carpenter off of his perch?
Nobody does.
Or
Okay,
her.
I can't get over this pin thing. I just feel like that little limerick is some very clever mother who is really sick of fucking picking up and stepping on pins all over the place.
See a Lego, pick it up.
And she's like, I know what I'm going to do. No one's going to leave a pin lying around
Genius.
ever again. And now I have changed the course of history.
Yeah, could be.
I think
Some
that's 100%
things are as
what
simple
happened.
as that.
Yep.
Yeah.
God
The other
damn it.
moms heard it. They were like, okay, well,
That's
this
good.
is gold.
Yep. I also
Yeah.
step on pins. How did I not think of this?
Yeah.
The Lego thing is genius. Teach your kids that it's good luck to have like a clean floor.
Yes.
Otherwise, they'll be cursed.
Find a
They're
vacuum,
going
turn
straight
it
to
on.
hell.
Teach your kids they'll be doomed forever if they don't pick up their
I mean,
toys.
that's what Catholicism is.
I know. It
mean, yeah.
literally is. Yeah.
Well, I sure hope you liked that clip. If you did like that clip, make sure you are subscribing to our YouTube channel, leaving us a nice review, and joining us on Patreon for even more video content, audio content, salacious content all around. Come join us. Treat yourself.